You know, a long day of kayak fishing can really take it out of you. Actually, a long day of any outdoor activity can take it out of you. So for all of my outdoor activities, I choose Columbia Sportswear's line of products, from shoes that drain, to lightweight, quick drying pants, to packable jackets. Choose Columbia Sportswear for your next outdoor adventure.
We are electrofishing a sand sab on Halloween. Electroshocking is the process of analyzing what's under the water. So we throw an electrical current into the water, which you can see the guys dipping the fish. That's a gizzard shad right there. And then we're going to, at the end, weigh and measure the fish, assess what forage base is in the lake, and then make recommendations of what we might need to do. Not a big bass. So we just completed about 20 minutes of an electroshock survey at Waco Creek, Sand Sab at Waco Creek Ranch. And one of the reasons this lake has continued to produce such great fish is that because of that fish right there. That's called a gizzard shad. Now in many lakes, you wouldn't want a gizzard shad, but in a lake where you're growing trophy bass, gizzard shad are a meal for a bass. That's a perfect size meal for a 5-pound bass, 6, 7-pound bass right there. Here's a pretty typical bass of what we caught. It's probably 17, 18 inches, 16, 17, 18. We're gonna weigh and measure it and compare it to a standard set of tables to determine the health of the fish. 15 and a half. 2-1. 18 and a half, almost 19. 3-2. We also pulled up a lot of bluegill, and see if I can get some here. There's that bigger one. A lot of bluegill in this size range. That's actually a red ear sunfish. You can see that little red on him. That size right there is a perfect size meal for a 3 or 4 pound bass. It's about a 4 to 5 inch red ear sunfish. Here's a bluegill. Don't know if he's a copper nose or not. Just standard bluegill. A couple things we found that I had no idea. We found gizzard shad, which is a plus in a trophy fishery like this lake. Gizzard shad are a great meal. They could get up to 18, 20 inches, but most of these were in the 12-inch range, which was even better. So they make a great meal for a 4 or 5 pound largemouth bass. And so after we got through, we analyzed, we found a catfish, we found bluegill, we found red ear sunfish, of course largemouth bass, we found crappie, we found a couple of carp. We saw a plethora of things, and what I was most encouraged about was the amount of bluegill. A lot of bluegill in the 2 to 5 inch range. Did not see as many large bluegill as I would have liked to have seen. Of course, a larger bluegill makes a larger meal for a larger bass, but I think having the gizzard shad, those gizzard shad are feeding the large fish in here. So again, that's kind of what electroshock fishing does.
For outstanding customer service, expert advice, and an extensive selection of quality kayak fishing products, visit Hook One at kayakfishinggear.com.